but pretty educated audience.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of refreshing.
I love that. I like that about San Francisco.
Yeah, man, and so anyway, but the one of the comics that was there, poor girl, she was married and found that her husband was having an affair, and the reason she found out was because there's a website called Dolly Madison or something for married people if they want to have affairs.
Yeah.
Holly Madison?
Holly Madison.
Yeah, Holly Madison, and he had his profile on there. It's like, way to get caught, dude. She was like, my husband's looking for, this is weird. How
hilarious is that someone came up with a website for people that want to cheat?
Yeah, for other married people. So married people want to cheat on other married people. It's like, hey, I'm married. You're married too. Let's go bang.
People are crazy.
It's great.
Oh, that's scary.
Anyway.
What's scary that the guy was so dumb that he would create a fucking profile with his real name?
Yeah, with his real name and picture. Hey,
he put his pictures on.
That's right. My profile is IWantToGetCaught.com.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Come on.
Did you see that Twitter that I put out the other day about there was a website using HTML 5.0 and it's called thewildernessdowntown.com.
Somebody else tweeted
Did you do it?
No.
Check it out. Thewildernessdowntown.com. You put in your address like the place you grew up in. Mm-hmm. And what it does is it takes Google like Street View maps and it mixes it with like videos of people running down streets and it shows like aerial views zooming into your house like it's like in a helicopter and it just uses it from like this one address. What? And it's fucking trippy. I mean, it's not as cool after like a few minutes. You get the tricks and everything like that. But at first you're sitting there going, wow, this is badass. So check it out. It's the Wilderness Downtown.
They're just preparing us.
Yeah.
They're preparing us for the one state of total connectivity.
Yeah.
Where the whole fucking world is connected
when the world wakes
together.
up. It's called the singularity. That's what they call it.
Kurzweil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea that there's going to come some sort of a connection.
Hub, right?
Yeah.
Like a neural global hub.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why people hate deception so much and people hate lies so much is that we're everyone's trying to figure life out, and it doesn't help if you find out that someone's not being honest. Mm-hmm. Like, you can help me, your revelations, and they have. You and I have talked a bunch of times about some crazy shit and helped each other very much. The reason why is because I absolutely believe that you're going to tell me the truth. Mm-hmm. And you know that I'm going to tell you the truth. If you don't have that, if one person's telling the truth and the other person isn't, then you're fucked. Then you're in this weird situation like, well, this guy's not even looking at reality. This is bullshit. He's not helping me. He's actually hindering me.
Yeah,
he's getting in the way.
And I see that all the time. One of the things that I find tiring about living in Los Angeles, and maybe I'm being unfair to Los Angeles, maybe it's everywhere, but I just always find that people are not only playing a character, they're not even themselves.
Yes.
They haven't even faced up to who they are because they're still playing a character.
How common are these characters? They're clearly defined, right? The actor
they're
character?
so clearly defined because they're almost archetypes. They're like, this is what a man is supposed to behave like, so this is how I'm going to behave. And by the way, this is also how my wife is going to behave, my woman's going to behave. So you have a man and a woman playing characters and coming together on almost just the platform by which they're coming together is already fake. Nobody's being honest with each other. You've been cast as a guy who's got to be tough and this way, and she's been cast as this other person.
It was like watching a show.
Yeah.
I've watched people, like actors, talk at a party, and it literally is like they're appearing on an episode of Friends.
Right.
Like everything they're saying is affected and fake, and there's like a certain quality to it, a certain way. You know what I hate when people say, "Good to see you." You know why they say good to see you? Because they can't remember if they met you or not. So they say good to see you. And it's like this creepy actor political thinking thing. Where if I say good, nice to meet you, and someone goes, oh, we met already. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a retard. When did we meet? Like, I just can't remember everybody. Right. That's just a problem. It's like there's only a certain amount of hard drive space that a human being has in his head for people. Right. They say it's like 150 people, right?
Right.
There's like been calculations done on it. Like at 150 people, you can't remember anybody more. Right. You don't have the space for it.
I want to piggyback what you're saying on this quote I heard from Eleanor Roosevelt, and she said, mediocre minds talk about people, elevated minds talk about events, and great minds talk about ideas. And so when you're talking about having hard drive for certain for people, you're not supposed to even aspire to talk about people. Think about what most people talk about. Look, pay attention to conversations, and you know what you'll find most of the time they're gossiping. They're telling stories about other people's sort of shortcomings. It's why Us magazine, those magazines are so popular. It's why so many of these talk shows that deal only with what's going on in Hollywood are so successful. People want to. I'm always amazed at people's capacity for gossip and how people can actually give a shit about somebody's relationship if they happen to be in a movie and stuff like that.
Well, I think it's
always
based on
hard.
stories too, though. Everyone's always done that. But back in the day, you had stories about
there's-
people.
Well, good stories, though. I mean,
Serious. It's to our detriment. It's serious. There's serious things going on in the world that raise very serious questions. Right? We're all affected by it, and it seems to me almost this sort of. I don't know if the word is this analgesic sort of quality to sitting back and talking about things that have nothing to do with anything, that are by their very nature completely ethereal. For example, like how much weight this actress lost or how much weight this actress gained and things like that.
Do you ever watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
I do not.
I think you should get out. It's a really good show.
I can't wait. I hope they have the CDs.
I have a theory about
the
all this
DVDs.
stuff, this stuff, with gossiping and shit. I think what it really is human beings. I think it has sort of a therapeutic effect on people. I think the questions that are around us all the time are so big and so scary and so
Absolutely.
nutty.
Of course, it's a form of connection, and I'm not talking about connection. I'm not talking about having a place for everything like that. I'm saying that the problem is that when that becomes all people think and talk about, there's something wrong. When there are things that are a
lot of what's going on is I think people are inundated with too much data. I think people are our brains are not set up to be on the internet yet. It's just the brain is just being overwhelmed by shit. So I think we like to keep things really simple sometimes to distract ourselves from that.